In the ancient kingdom of Valoria, nestled between rolling hills and glistening rivers, lived King Alaric and his beloved twin daughters, Princess Elowen and Princess Aveline. The kingdom was known far and wide for its beauty, prosperity, and the wisdom of its rulers. But no story was more captivating than that of the twin princesses. They were not only identical in appearance, with long raven hair and piercing emerald eyes, but their bond was said to be inseparable. Where one went, the other followed, and what one felt, the other mirrored. Yet, despite their deep bond, their personalities could not have been more different. Elowen was a fierce and daring soul, with a sharp mind and a thirst for adventure. She spent her days riding horses, mastering the art of sword fighting, and dreaming of far-off lands. Aveline, on the other hand, was gentle and compassionate. She had a natural affinity for the people of Valoria, often visiting villages to heal the sick, listen to their troubles, and spread warmth wherever she went. Her kind heart won her the love of the people, while Elowen's strength won her their admiration. As the twins came of age, King Alaric grew increasingly troubled. The time had come for him to name his heir, but he found himself caught in an impossible dilemma. By tradition, the crown passed to the eldest child, but Elowen and Aveline were born just moments apart. Though Elowen was older by a heartbeat, it was Aveline who seemed to possess the qualities of a ruler who would maintain peace. Yet Elowen's leadership skills and bravery were undeniable. King Alaric loved both his daughters equally and wanted the best for his kingdom, but he could not ignore the tension growing between the twins as the question of succession loomed. The king sought advice from his council, but they were as divided as the kingdom itself. Some favored Elowen, believing her boldness would lead Valoria to greater heights, while others less sided with Aveline, certain that her compassion and wisdom would preserve the peace the kingdom had long enjoyed. One night, after many sleepless hours spent pondering the future, King Alaric had a vision in his dreams. An ancient figure, robed in silver and gold, appeared before him. "A choice you must make is not yours alone," the figure said. "The land itself will decide. The true heir of Valoria will be the one who can solve the riddle of the Starstone." King Alaric woke, his heart racing. The Starstone was an ancient relic, a luminous gem hidden deep in the Forest of Shadows. Legend said that only the rightful ruler of Valoria could find the stone and unlock its power. But it had been lost to time, with none daring to seek it. Now, it seemed, the fate of the kingdom rested on the twin princesses' ability to find and solve the mystery of the Starstone. The next morning, King Alaric summoned Elowen and Aveline to the throne room. He explained his dream and the challenge that lay before them. "Both of you are worthy to rule," he said, "but the kingdom must be united behind one leader. The Starstone will show us who that leader is. You must journey together to the Forest of Shadows, find the Starstone, and bring it back to Valoria. Only then will we know who is meant to wear the crown." The twins exchanged glances, their faces a mixture of surprise and determination. Though they had always been close, the unspoken tension between them had grown in recent months, each feeling the weight of expectation and uncertainty. This quest would decide their future, not only as individuals, but as sisters. Elowen, eager for adventure, grinned and clenched her fists. "I'll find the Starstone and prove I'm the rightful heir," she said confidently. Aveline, though less certain of the outcome, nodded with quiet resolve. "We will find it together," she said softly. "Whatever happens, we must remember we are sisters first." Thus began the twin princesses' journey into the heart of the kingdom's most treacherous wilderness. The Forest of Shadows was a place of ancient magic and mystery, where few dared to venture, and even fewer returned. Legends told of enchanted creatures, shifting landscapes, and trials that tested the heart and mind as much as the body. Elowen and Aveline entered the forest at dawn, the trees towering above them like silent sentinels. The path ahead was shrouded in mist, and the air was thick with the scent of damp earth and pine. Despite their differences, the twins worked together, each relying on the other's strengths. Elowen's knowledge of survival and combat kept them safe from the forest's dangers, while Aveline's calm wisdom and intuition helped them navigate the magical traps and illusions that lay in their path. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, they encountered a series of trials, each more difficult than the last. The first was a test of strength. A massive stone blocked their path, too heavy for one person to move alone. Elowen stepped forward, confident in her physical prowess, but even she could not budge the stone. Aveline watched, thoughtful, before suggesting they try together. With their combined strength, the stone rolled away, revealing a hidden passage. The second trial was one of intellect. The twins found themselves in a clearing filled with ancient runes, inscribed on stones that formed a perfect circle. In the center was a pedestal on which lay a scroll. When Elowen reached for it, the runes began to glow, and a deep voice echoed through the clearing. To unlock the path, the truth must be known. Speak the riddle. The Starstone is shown. Aveline picked up the scroll and read aloud. In my reflection, I see my past, yet what I see cannot last. What am I? Elowen frowned, thinking quickly. A mirror, she said. But the runes remained unchanged. Aveline, sensing something deeper, closed her eyes and murmured, "It is time." The runes flickered and shifted, and the ground trembled as a new path opened before them. Elowen stared at her sister, surprised. "How did you know?" Aveline smiled gently. "Because the riddle was about more than what we see. It was about understanding time itself." Despite their success, the trials began to take their toll on the twins. As they pressed on, their differences became more pronounced. Elowen's impatience clashed with Aveline's caution, and old frustration surfaced. They quarreled about the right way forward, about who should lead, and about who was truly deserving of the crown. The bond that had once been their strength now felt like a chain pulling them apart. Finally, after days of travel, they reached the heart of the forest where the Starstone lay hidden within an ancient ruin. The stone shimmered like a beacon, casting an ethereal light across the clearing. But as the twins approached, a figure appeared before them, a guardian, cloaked in shadows, with eyes like glowing embers. The Starstone can only be claimed by the true heir. the guardian said. But first, you must make a choice. Only one of you may take the stone. If you both try, the stone will be lost forever, and the kingdom will fall into ruin. Elowen stepped forward, her heart pounding. I've led us this far, she said, her voice steady. I am the rightful heir. Aveline hesitated, looking from her sister to the Starstone. She could feel the weight of destiny pressing down on her. But something inside her whispered that the choice was not as simple as it seemed. Wait, Aveline said quietly. This isn't about proving who is stronger or wiser. It's about what Valoria needs. Elowen, you're brave and fearless, but the kingdom needs more than that. It needs a leader who understands the people, who can guide them with compassion and wisdom. Elowen stared at her, anger flashing in her eyes. And you think you're that leader? I think we both are, Aveline replied. But only one of us can take the Starstone, and I believe it should be you. Elowen blinked, taken aback. What? Why? Because you have the courage to face what lies ahead. You have the strength to protect our people from whatever challenges come. But you need to trust me, Elowen. Trust that I will always be by your side to help you when you need it, just as we've always been. Tears welled up in Elowen's eyes as she realized the truth of her sister's words. She had always seen leadership as a matter of strength and bravery, but now she understood that it was also about trust, love, and partnership. Without a word, she reached out and took Aveline's hand. Together, they approached the Starstone. But instead of taking it, they both knelt before it, offering their hands in unity. In that moment, the Starstone glowed brighter than ever before, filling the clearing with light. The guardian smiled, and the twins felt a warmth spread through them, binding them together once more. The true heir is not one, but two, the guardian said. Together, you will rule Valoria as sisters, as equals. When they returned to Valoria, the kingdom rejoiced. King Alaric, overjoyed by the wisdom and unity his daughters had shown, declared that both Elowen and Aveline would share the throne, ruling together as co-queens. Their reign would become one of the greatest in Valoria's history, a time of prosperity, peace, and adventure, where the strength of one was balanced by the wisdom of the other, and their bond as sisters remained unbreakable. And so, the legend of the twin princesses, Elowen and Aveline, and the king's dilemma became a story told for generations, a reminder that true leadership is found not in power or position, but in love, trust, and unity.